There's a bacterium living in your gut whose only food source is your own intestinal lining. Its favorite meal is you. And people who live past 100 tend to be absolutely packed with it. Picture the lining of your gut as a border crossing. On one side, everything you eat, drink, and swallow, along with trillions of other bacteria. On the other side, your actual bloodstream. Guarding that crossing is a thin layer of mucus, and living right inside that mucus, eating it actually, is a bacterium called Akkermansia muciniphila. For years, it's been a minor celebrity in weight loss research, showing up in study after study on obesity and blood sugar. But when scientists went looking for what separates people who live to 100 from everyone else, they kept finding this same bacterium standing at the checkpoint in unusually large numbers, in 3 different countries, on 3 completely different diets, with almost nothing else in common. Start in Italy. In 2016, researchers led by Elena Biagi at the University of Bologna set out to build what they called the longest available trajectory of the human gut through aging, sequencing bacteria from young adults, the elderly, centenarians, and semi-super centenarians, people aged 105 to 109, the rarest kind of old, all enrolled in and around Emilia-Romagna. Published in Current Biology, the study found that most of the gut's dominant, familiar bacterial families, big, well-known groups like Ruminococci, Lactospiraceae, and Bacteroideaceae, which make up the bulk of a typical adult's gut, steadily lose ground with age. But in the oldest group, something broke that pattern. Akkermansia, along with 2 other bacteria, Bifidobacterium and a family called Christensenolaceae, showed up in dramatically higher numbers the older and rarer the person got. The researchers called it a longevity adaptation, as if certain gut bacteria don't just tag along for a long life, they help build one. Halfway across the world, a much larger study found the same pattern. In 2023, a team led by Shifu Peng analyzed gut samples from over 1,500 people in China's Guangxi province, ranging in age from 20 to 117. Including 297 centenarians, published in Nature Aging. Compared with people in their 40s and 50s, the centenarians' guts looked, in several ways, more like a young adult's gut than an old one. More evenly balanced bacterial communities, and fewer of the troublemaker species tied to disease. When the researchers specifically compared centenarians to a group of young adults in their 20s and 30s, 4 genera, 4 distinct branches on the bacterial family tree, stood out as distinctly enriched: Allostypes, Odoribacter, Parabacteroides, and, again, Akkermansia. The pattern held up even after the researchers split people into healthier and less healthy groups. If anything, the youth-like signature showed up more clearly among the less healthy older adults, as if a strong gut microbiome were compensating for something. The team then followed a subset of these centenarians for 1.5 years and found this youth-like pattern wasn't just a one-time snapshot. It held steady, and in some people even strengthened over time. Same checkpoint bacterium, completely different country, completely different cuisine, and now a pattern that holds up over time, not just at a single moment. So what is this bacterium actually doing at the checkpoint? Akkermansia muciniphila was only formally identified and named in 2004. A 2022 review by Patrice Cani and colleagues, published in Nature Review's Gastroenterology and Hepatology, laid out the case nearly 2 decades later, calling it a paradigm for an entirely new generation of beneficial microbes. Akkermansia doesn't just sit passively in the mucus. Eating it seems to signal the gut to produce more mucus in response, thickening the border wall rather than wearing it down. The review ties the bacterium to a wider set of jobs, keeping that gut lining sealed so undigested food particles and bacteria can't leak into the bloodstream, calming the immune system's background inflammation, improving how the body handles blood sugar and stored fat, and even nudging up how many calories the body burns just generating heat. There's early evidence it plays a role in how well some cancer patients respond to immunotherapy drugs, and separate work from the same research group found a single protein on the bacterium's surface that can trigger the gut to release more of the hormone that controls appetite and blood sugar after eating. That's an unusual amount of responsibility for one microbe. Most gut bacteria specialize. This one has its hands on the barrier, the immune system, and metabolism all at once. The review is careful to note that most of this evidence is still correlational, but the studies pointing toward actual cause and effect have been piling up fast. Here's where the story gets stranger. In Japan, researchers at Keio University weren't just counting how much Akkermansia centenarians carried. They wanted to know what it was actually doing there. Studying gut samples from 160 Japanese centenarians with an average age of 107, the team, led by Yuko Sato and Kenya Honda, and working with collaborators at the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard, screened dozens of bacterial strains isolated from a centenarian's own gut and tested what each one could build. Among the standout collaborators, Akkermansia, a bacterium called Clostridium scindens, and members of Parabacteroides, working alongside a family called Odorobacteriaceae, using two specific enzymes to manufacture a compound never described before, a modified bile acid with potent antimicrobial power. In lab tests, it tore through drug-resistant superbugs, including C. diff and a resistant strain of Enterococcus, without harming the friendlier bacteria nearby. Nobody had ever described this exact compound or the biological pathway that builds it before this study. The checkpoint bacterium wasn't just guarding the wall, it was part of a small in-house pharmacy, manufacturing weapons against the exact pathogens that kill people in nursing homes and hospitals. None of this means eating spicy food or taking a supplement will add years to your life. But researchers have identified specific, real ways people naturally raise their own Akkermansia levels. Regular exercise, fiber and polyphenol-rich foods like berries and green tea, and periods of caloric restriction all show up in the research, alongside metformin, a decades-old diabetes drug that appears to boost it as a side effect in people who start out with very little. Even capsaicin, the compound that makes chili peppers burn, boosted Akkermansia in mice by triggering extra mucus production through the same heat-sensing switch that makes your mouth feel like it's on fire. Though that specific result is still animal data, not yet confirmed in humans. The checkpoint, it turns out, responds to how you treat it. Researchers have even taken the logical next step. In 2019, Cani's own team ran a small pilot trial directly supplementing overweight insulin-resistant volunteers with the bacterium itself, and found it was safe, well-tolerated, and linked to improvements in several metabolic markers. It's a first step, not a verdict. The trial was small and early, but it means this isn't just an observation anymore. And the more scientists learn about what this one small, unglamorous mucus eater can do, reinforcing walls, calming inflammation, apparently even manufacturing its own antibiotics, the more it looks like a lever actually worth understanding, not just in centenarians, but in the rest of us too.